Because I feel that too, and it's like a flickering. But
No,
I don't know if you're over my eyes.
Nope, not. Not over your eyes. Not even down to the top of your glasses.
Yeah, so I could feel the flickering even though you weren't over my eyes. I could see it.
Do you want me to move a little bit?
No, you're cool. I got it. So I'm now going to be right in that center up there. How's that feel?
I feel it like at my jaws.
This goes right down through the central column, not the spine, but the prana tube. The top of the prana tube is right in the middle of the fontanelle on the top of the head.
Now it's going like all the way down my body.
Now, I make a little bit of an oval up here on the top, and that painting kind of thing is like a little oval. It's rather than across the bands like that.
I feel that all the way down here.
What I'm doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not asking you to breathe or do any special things or direct it. I'm just doing, I mean, there are other things that one could do at the same time, but I'm not adding those complexities. That's keeping this as simple as possible. Okay, now what you do that's different is you take the crown fork, and it looks like an inverted V where the point of the V is right in the crown chakra, and I'm moving like this in like a kind of a feathering motion. And the purpose of this is to open up the big cone of energy that comes into us. And that cone of energy you have probably in Reiki.
I feel like your hands are on my head.
Yeah?
Like your actual hands.
Well?
Like opening up or touching my head.
That's God.
Well, I'm a semi-normal dude, so I don't know. I'm not making any claims. But stuff does happen. Because, you see, we go into certain
You're
fields.
being healed.
Well, the idea, I have that prayer that everybody here, we're all really doing stuff. And I prefer doing that, some of these deeper things here, than in the San Francisco energies and globe. Because I don't want you going out at night after class, out into all of that. Here, there's a different kind of a safety bubble, you might say. Does that make sense?
Being grounded, like I feel the loop going all the way down to my feet.
Great. Now, there's other techniques, but that are in between techniques that I haven't done right now. But let's say that I wanted to complete there at that point for this part of it. So we've done the 7 main chakras, and I included the thymus within my work with the heart, but I could have done the thymus separately, like another chakra. And the note that I would use would be if I used a D for the heart and an E, then I would use the E flat or the D sharp for the thymus in between. The chromatics, if it's a whole step apart between chakras, the half step could be the minor chakra in between. Does that make sense? D for the heart, E for the throat within this system, and E flat would be the one I would use, for instance, for the thymus. But I can also work the heart chakra in such a way that the thymus and the heart are working, and they're working toward becoming a new, larger chakra with a lot more pod communications. That's what the blend of the thymus with the heart, like dolphins. Much more about bigger connections and creativity than typical. So then the last thing I would do is I would trace the body with the A flat that I started with. And there's a test question like this, all around the body. So I'm doing this.
That's nice.
Okay, and now when I tune people also, if they're wearing certain jewelry, I have them put the jewelry in the field. So the jewelry is tuned, so when they are done tuning, they put the jewelry on. The jewelry isn't, in another field. You can tell the field. This helps stabilize your aura from the tuning. And I do this a number of times.
Which fork are you using?
The A flat, the same one I used on the feet.
Yeah.
Now there's something else that I do here, usually before I do that, but I could do it this way. I make a V from the feet to the root to the other foot. There's a big triangle. You see how I'm doing that? Okay, I can go clockwise or counterclockwise. It does not feel I have to go counterclockwise. I went the other way and it didn't feel right to me. Anytime, just check it. Go the other way. Like, not right. And then I go from the root chakra to the heart, and it looks, in all those chakras, it looks like a boot where the toe is on the root, goes over to the second chakra, it's like the heel of the boot, and up to the heart and around, almost looks like a boomerang this way. So there's root, second, third, heart, fourth, and back down around, that shape. And then the third one is from the heart to the crown. It makes like a loop, like an ankh. Looks like ankh, which is very appropriate for that. In fact, if you get a quartz crystal or rose quartz crystal ankh, very good to use with tuning forks. You know, especially in quartz. There's ankhs in different material. I have a lapis one, but for this kind of work, the quartz is an amplifier. There's all kind of special energies in the ankh. And Dorjes too. I'll show you that later.
There's like energy in my fingers now.
Well, another stage of this, now that you mentioned that, is I take the note from the crown, which I was using a G. Where's that G? Now, come on, behave. Oh. And I go down the crown, down the arms to the fingers, and I do all the fingertips and the center of the palm. We can do that and play with that tonight. And you can also put essential oils on your hands, and because that opens up a lot of different channels. And you move different tuning forks down and put them right in the center of the chakra, in the middle of the hands, and then on the ends of the fingers. This is something they ought to do when people go in to get manicures and stuff. It would be like dialed.
Yeah.
So, for now, thank you for volunteering.
Thank you.
That's a basic Tibetan soul chakra tunement. And you can do all that yourself. Just
I
sit
got
and-
it. It's
Yeah,
done.
you got it.
It's done.